Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari.
Jayo Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari.
Jayo Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha, Gopinath Radha.
Radha Gopinath Radha, Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol,
पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते
ओम
वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
शिवाय।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you for taking out your time and coming to attend this Gita class. We are continuing our discussion from today, 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as it is. So far we have discussed the first section of Bhagavad Gita, that is Karma Yoga. And in this chapter, in this section, we have heard Krishna explaining the science of karma. What is sakam karma? What is nishkam karma? What is akarma? How a devotee can be sthita pragya. We heard all these terms in great detail. And then the last chapter of the previous section, the 6th chapter, ended with description of a Ashtanga yogi. How this yogi, he fixes his mind on the Supreme Lord by various limbs: yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyanan, samadhi. And now we'll be starting today the 7th chapter, which is called as the knowledge of absolute. Bhagavad Gita, it is like a jewel box. As a great Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he mentions, it is like a jewel box. The jewel box has an upper lid and the lower base and the jewel which is there in that box. The first 6 chapters of this jewel box, they are the lower base of this first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, they are the lower base. The last 6 chapters, they are the upper lid of Bhagavad Gita, this jewel box. And on that lid, Krishna has placed 2 very attractive jewels, gems. If you want to attract somebody, you have to place something very attractive on the cover. And what are the 2 very attractive jewels which are there on the lid of this Bhagavad Gita box? That is verse number 18.65 and 66. These are two very, very powerful verses. They are shining like, diamond. They attract a person's attention. What's in store for me? So Krishna has placed these two verses. You can just go to these verses 18.65 and 66. These two verses, they are very, very important verses. In fact, 18.66, it is the pinnacle verse of Bhagavad Gita. It is the Charama Shloka. It is the foremost of the verses. It is the highest instruction Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. And previous 18.65, this verse is repeated twice in Bhagavad Gita. Just imagine if Krishna is speaking 700 verses and he is repeating one verse 2 times. ऐसा नहीं कि भूल गए गलती से तो repeat कर दिया. He is purposefully repeating this. Once it comes in 18.65, we recite this verse. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te vijane priyosi me. Now please come to 9th chapter 34th verse. The exact same verse is repeated, just the last line is a little different. These are very important instructions which Krishna is giving to Arjun, and through Arjun he is giving to all of us. 9.34 is also same. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mayame vaishyasi yuktvayavam atmanam matparayanaha. Become my devotee, worship me, offer obeisances unto me. In this way you will come to me without a doubt. And this is possible only when we come in association of devotees and we hear. In the process of spiritual life, especially devotional life, association of devotees is must. It is not optional or thoda chalta hai, thoda nahi kiya to chalega. It is essential. To come and associate with the devotees, that is essential part of our spiritual practice, bhakti yoga. It is not the case in karma or jnana or ashtanga. The jnanis, they don't come together and do their jnana yoga. The yogis, they don't come together. Not like current times yoga societies, where so many yogis are doing yoga together. In the previous times, एक योगी ये हिमालय में, दूसरा योगी पानी के नीचे, तीसरा योगी somewhere else. So they never come together. But the process of bhakti yoga, it is based on coming together and inspiring each other. Parasparanu kathanam pavanam bhagavati ashaha mitharati mithatushti nivritti mitha atmanah. When the devotees come together and discuss parasparanu kathanam, what they discuss? They don't discuss the Bollywood. कौन सा मूवी निकला है प्रभु जी, हम भी एसोसिएशन लिए डिवोटीज का, हम लोग साथ में बैठ के मूवी डिस्कस किए. That is not the association. Association means when you discuss pavanam bhagavati yashaha, when we discuss the very auspicious pure pastimes of Krishna, then we come together, then we develop close relation and we advance. It is essential. And in the last chapter of this Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, the last verse, Krishna, he gave a declaration. 2 superlative words were used there, Sarvesham and Yuktatama. That means Krishna is telling, this is the most essential understanding which I am giving to you. For everyone, it is not that for some people it is there, others they may practice something else. Sarvesham. For all the people, for all the various yoga practitioners, yoginam api sarvesham, of all the yogis, who is the best yogi? Madgaten antar atmana, who is always thinking of me in his mind. Madgaten antar atmana. So that is the true perfection of all the yoga paths. There is no doubt about it. Same yukta tamo mataha. It is the conclusion given by Krishna. In the 6th chapter, Krishna told very strongly about mind control. You have to control your mind. Controlled mind is the best friend. Uncontrolled mind is the worst enemy. So many things he said about the mind. And then Arjuna says, Krishna, very difficult. I can control wind, but I cannot control my mind. So now in this chapter, what Krishna does? Krishna shifts the focus from controlling the mind. We are not so much into mind control. We are not mind controllers here. We are into attaching our mind to Krishna. Detachment is one thing, but the most important part is attachment. That is what is described in this chapter by Krishna. So there are two ways. First, detach your mind from the things of this world and attach to Krishna later. Or attach your mind to Krishna, and in due course of time the mind will be detached from the things of this world. Which is a easier approach?
Second one.
That is a second one. And that is what Krishna is proposing in this chapter now, which is Bhakti Yoga's first chapter. 7 to 12, that is a Bhakti Yoga section. So the box has the lower base of first 6 chapters, Karma Yoga, the upper of last 6 chapters, and the jewel which is kept in this box, that is Bhakti Yoga. So now after 4 years, we have come to the jewel. अब ये कितने दिन चलेगा पता नहीं. So so it is so very important that it focuses on prioritizing our attachment to Krishna. We are not so much into controlling our mind. We are into attaching our mind to Krishna. ये नहीं सोचना है, ये नहीं सोचना है, नहीं सोचना है. If I tell you, don't meditate on a red-faced monkey. बोला था ना नहीं सोचना है. अभी सब लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं?
Red face.
So it is so very easy for the mind to get distracted, you know. And if I say now for 1 minute think only of red-faced monkey, apart from monkey, everything else will come in the mind. So therefore, to control mind is very difficult. So therefore, Krishna in this section he brings us to this understanding how to control the mind in an easier way. Because Arjuna said it is so very difficult, Krishna. Yoyam yogas tvaya prokta sammena madhusudana itasyaham na pashyami chanchalatva sthimtiram. 6.23 Arjuna said that. My mind is chanchal. I cannot do whatever you have said, Krishna. So therefore, in response to this, Krishna, he is going to reveal a very, very blissful path. And this path, it is a path which involves our senses. You know, in the path of Jnana and Ashtanga Yoga, senses should be stopped. No sense activity should go on. But when it comes to Bhakti Yoga, we can use all our senses in serving Krishna. That is the beauty of Bhakti Yoga. We are not into rejecting the things of this world. We are into utilizing the things in service of Krishna. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means I don't want this, but I will use this in Krishna's service. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya vishayan yatharham upayunjata nirbandha Krishna sambandhe Yukta Vairagya muchyate. Anasakta, asakti, attachment. Anasakti, no attachment. From vishayan, from all the sense objects. Knowing well that all the things of this world, they come from where? They are coming from Krishna.
Aham sarvasya.
He is the proprietor of all the things of this world. So जहाँ से आ रहा है उसकी सेवा में लगाएंगे. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. So a devotee, he uses his intelligence to understand the bhakti texts. That's what we do every week here. We use our intelligence. You know, कभी-कभी ज़्यादा हो जाता है नहीं? ज़्यादा ही technical बोल देते हैं प्रभु जी कभी-कभी. Story सुनानी चाहिए. But just using our intelligence will not help us. Ultimately, we have to connect our heart to Krishna. We can understand all the logic and all the purports by our intelligence. But Krishna is not pleased by our intelligence. Krishna is not pleased by how many shlokas we have memorized. Krishna is pleased by what? How much we have remembered Him. How much we have focused on His activities and pastimes. That is called as devotion. Please take out 11th chapter 53rd verse. In that, Krishna very, very clearly saying what attracts his attention. What makes one dear to Krishna? Krishna is not pleased by memorizing of the verses. मिल गया सबको? We'll recite this. Naham vedair na tapasa
Nam vedarinna tapasya
danena chejjaya
na dananena
shakya
tetya
evam vidho drashtum
sakya evam vidaddesha
drishtavan asimam yatha.
Dishtavan suvatya.
Translation, somebody can read.
The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am.
So even if somebody is expert in studying all the Vedas, all the scriptures, Krishna says you can't please me, you can't attract my attention by studying Vedas. You can impress somebody if you have something which the other person doesn't have, right? What Krishna doesn't have that we have? ऐसा कुछ है? We have one thing which Krishna doesn't have. What is that?
Bhakti.
हाँ जी?
Bhakti.
Devotion.
Our free will. Our free will is ours only. And Krishna wants us that please use your free will and come to me. Krishna never forces anything on us. He always gives chance, always gives freedom. You can do whatever you want. Yathechasi tatha kuru. One time one person came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have read entire Bhagavad Gita. I have memorized all the 700 verses. So Prabhupada asked him, so which is your favorite verse? So what he said?
Last one.
Yathechasi tatha kuru. Krishna is so nice. He never forces his opinions on anyone. But he wants that all of us should use our free will and come to him. Then he'll be pleased. Otherwise you cannot please by tapasya, by Ved study, nadan. If you give charity, it is not that, oh, इतना बड़ा दान दिए, भगवान बहुत प्रसन्न होंगे. Krishna is not pleased by charity. नालम द्विजत्वम देवत्वम ऋषित्वम वा सुरात्मजा प्रीणनायम कुंदस्या न वृत्तम न बहुज्ञता न दानम न तपो न इज्या न शौचम न व्रतानि च. Prahlad is telling to his friends, oh my dear friends, you know how Krishna is pleased? He is not pleased by somebody who is a great devta. He is not pleased by somebody who is a rishi. He is not pleased by a person who is a great charitable. न दानम न तपा, तपस्या करने वालों से भगवान प्रसन्न होते हैं, ऐसा है? एवरी एकादशी प्रभु जी निर्जल कर रहे हैं, भगवान इतने कितने प्रसन्न होंगे इनसे, नहीं? No, it is not like that. You are doing nirjal, that is your understanding. That is for your purpose. Krishna is not pleased whether you are doing nirjal or eating 5 times in Ekadashi. Krishna is thinking how much he has remembered me. Na danam, na tapo, na ijya, na shaucham, na vratani. Priyate amalaya bhaktya. That is what pleases Krishna. Please go to the next verse, 11.54. Yes, Prajit, you have a question.
He's saying what you are seeing from transcendental eyes, even that.
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
What do you mean by transcendental eyes in this?
There is a whole context to that verse. This is the 11th chapter in which Krishna shows the universal form to Arjun, right? Vishwarupa. And after seeing Vishwarupa, Arjun is really fearful. He only asked Krishna, can you please show me Vishwarupa? But he didn't expect what is about to come. And just by the mere, darshan of this Vishwarupa, Arjun becomes really, fearful and disturbed. And then he says, Krishna, can you please remove this form of yours? I want to see your two-handed form. ये इतने सारे अनंत बाहु, Shashi Surya. So then Krishna appears in his two-handed form, and then he says this verse, Arjun, this form which you are seeing, this is a very rare form. That means, you may ask that, well, all the people on the battlefield were also seeing Krishna, right? Why Krishna is saying only rare people can see this form? They don't understand that he is Krishna. Many see Krishna, but they don't understand he is Supreme Lord. That is the difference. So who can understand that Krishna is Supreme Lord? Next verse. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya ahamevam vidho arjuna yatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapa bhaktya tu ananyaya. Only by ananya bhakti. There is a chair. Ananya bhakti. Only by unmotivated devotion. Ananya. Ananya means और कोई इच्छा नहीं है. I don't want anything material by worshipping Krishna. That is called as Ananya Bhakti. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakya. Only by this devotion, aham evam vidha. Only by this devotion somebody can know me. Tattvena, in truth. Yes.
So here Krishna is saying Ananya Bhakti, which means devotional service. But in the previous verse he says he cannot be understood nor by worship. So is he differentiating between worship and devotional service?
Yeah. Worship means offering articles to the deities of the Lord. One time there was a person, he had a shaligram. And he would call it Badam Bhangi Shaligram. You know why? One time somebody offered badam, जो fruit वाला रहता है बादाम, इसमें अंदर से निकलता है वो. So he would show shaligram and people would come and offer dakshina, and one day somebody offered this badam fruit. So then darshan was closed and he was trying to break that to take out that badam ka seed. But he was not finding anything. No stone was nearby. So what he did? He used shaligram only. And he broke that. And by that he got idea. I will call this shaligram as Badam Bhangi Shaligram. So worship can be done by for material motives also. Although a devotee also worships Krishna, worships the deities of the Lord, but the purpose is different. So material worship is not so much dear to Krishna. If somebody offers big articles, big charity he is giving for the Lord, making big temple for the Lord, offering nice garments and ornaments, Krishna is not pleased by all this. That is worship. Unless there is a devotion, Krishna doesn't accept anything. The active ingredient which attracts Krishna in all the offerings is devotion. If this is not there, everything else is rejected. That is worship. That is material worship. Okay.
6.47 में अभी है ना भजते और worship.
Bhajate. So that's how it is. Okay, so now we'll start the first verse of the 7th chapter. So far Krishna has said in the last verse, योगिनाम अपि सर्वेषाम मद्गतेन अंतरात्मना श्रद्धावान भजते यो माम. Very strongly, exclusively, Krishna is introducing himself as the object of worship. Now, if you want to connect to somebody, you want to know more about that person, right? That's why this chapter is called as Knowledge of the Absolute. In this, Krishna will reveal many, many wonderful things about himself. We'll recite this. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha
Ya Satyam Prabhupada.
Yogam Yunjan Madashaya
Yogam Yanjam Pradashya.
Asanshayam Samagram Ma
Asamsam Samayagram.
Yada Gyasyasi Tatshano. Translation.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt."
Srila Prabhupada gave maximum classes on this verse. This is one of the favorite verses of Srila Prabhupada. So in this verse, Krishna is emphasizing on, anyone reading the translation, just go through the translation once more. Take few seconds and tell me what is the most important word you feel in this verse. Maya Asakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjan Madashraya Asanshayan Samagramam Yatha Gyasi Tatshanu. Me. Okay. Haji? Consciousness. Free from doubt.
He's repeating me everywhere.
युंजन मदाश्रय. और कौन सा बच गया है?
श्री भगवान उवाच.
और कुछ और किसी को लग रहा है ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है? None of you are telling the most important word which Srila Prabhupada is, emphasizing. अगर आप लोग परपोर्ट नहीं पढ़े हैं तो आपको नहीं पता चलेगा. हाँ, now here. Shrinu. This is the most important word in this verse. Krishna is very straightforwardly telling suno. Because spiritual life begins with hearing. When you hear about somebody, then only you can know him or her. Tat Shrinu. So this is a direct call for hearing. Hearing, it tells us the path. Okay, we have to go through this path. But interesting thing about hearing is, when it comes to bhakti, it is the path also. It shows you the path and it is the path. That means we don't have to achieve by anything by hearing about Krishna. What we have to achieve? Hearing more. So hearing is the means and the end. Somebody asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what will you get by chanting Hare Krishna? What did Prabhupada reply? More chanting. What is the result of seva?
More seva.
More seva. ये तो सब जानते हैं. So that's how it is, The result of hearing is more hearing. The more we hear, the more we want to hear. Nobody gets satiated कि आज बस हो गया, आज नहीं जाएंगे, थक गए, वही एक ही चीज रिपीट करते रहते हैं प्रभु जी. One devotee went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, why you are repeating same thing again and again? You are not this body, you are soul. Prabhupada said, still you are not understanding. Every time I am repeating the same thing, still you are not understanding. So the more we hear, the more we get, satisfaction, and the more we want to hear.
Prabhuji, but then there are the 9 levels, Shravanam, Kirtanam.
They are not 9 levels. They are 9 limbs. Yeah. They are not 9 levels. The Nava Vidha Bhakti, that's what we call it. They are not the levels. ऐसा नहीं कि श्रवण हो गया तो फिर कीर्तन, फिर कीर्तन हो गया तो स्मरण. They are the 9 different limbs of bhakti. They always go on simultaneously. Shravanam, we begin our spiritual life by hearing. That's what we have started with, hearing. सुन के तो यहाँ तक आ गए हैं और सुन के आगे जाएंगे. Our process begins with hearing, continues with hearing and never ends. We keep on hearing. श्रवणम कीर्तनम विष्णु स्मरणम पाद सेवनम अर्चनम वंदनम दास्यम सख्यम आत्मनिवेदनम. These are the 9 limbs of devotional service. Begins with Shravanam, hearing. And after you do Shravan, if somebody does Shravan attentively, the next default action is Kirtan. For sure you will speak to somebody. ऐसा कोई भी है क्या जिसने आज तक किसी को भी कुछ भी नहीं बोला है भगवत गीता के बारे में? हो ही नहीं सकता है. Naturally we will speak about Bhagavad Gita to somebody. कभी ना कभी तो. That is default. Kirtan. If Kirtan is not happening, that means there is some garbad. That means we are not hearing properly. Shravanam Kirtanam. And if Shravan Kirtan happens, then third thing will also happen. Vishnu Smaran. We will remember Krishna. Shravan Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Archanam. Then we will like to serve the Lord by offering various articles, the deity worship. Vandanam. Vandan means we'll offer prayers to Krishna. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. We will accept ourselves as the servant of the Lord. आप प्रभु हैं, हम दास हैं. Hanuman ji, he offers a beautiful prayer. He says, "O Lord, give me one benediction. Bhavabandha chide tasyai sprahayami namuktaye bhavan prabhur aham dasa iti yatra vilupyate." He says, I don't want mukti if after getting liberated, you are not my master. If you are not my master, I don't want liberation also. Because mukti ke bina, seva ke bina kya karenge? If I am not having seva, then what will I do after getting liberation? So that's how the more we hear, the more we get attracted. That's how Rukmini Devi, she got attracted. She heard about Krishna. One time, Krishna, he was playing with his friends in Vrindavan and he became hungry. And all the cowherd boys, they became hungry. They told to Krishna, Krishna, please arrange for some food. We didn't get anything from home today. So Krishna said, nearby there is a village. And in that village, there are some brahmanas who are doing yajna. You go and ask them something. They'll give you. So all these boys, they go and they ask. They say, Krishna is hungry. ये नहीं बोलते कि we are hungry. Krishna is hungry and he is asking for some food. But these brahmanas, they were not devotees. They didn't even look at these boys. They completely neglected them. And these boys became very sad. They came back and said, Krishna, देखा भी नहीं उन लोगों ने हमको. So Krishna, he tells them, beggars should not be morals. You went to beg, right? Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't get, no problem. Now you please go to the wives of these brahmanas. So they say, अभी एक बार तो insult होके आया है अभी. You please go to the wives. They are my great devotees. Now they go to the wives of these brahmanas and they say, and Krishna tells them, please don't tell them that I am hungry. They'll be really disturbed hearing this. They go and tell, oh great ladies, Krishna is hungry. And they become really disturbed hearing this. Krishna is hungry. And they knew that our husbands will stop us. But they didn't care for them. They packed all the bhoga which was to be offered in sacrifice, loaded on carts, and went to see Krishna. And Shukdev Goswami describes how they developed such attraction for Krishna. Any guesses? They had never seen Krishna so far.
Sure.
They just heard about Krishna. Nishidhyamana patibhi bhratrebhi bandhuvi sutai bhagavati uttama shloke Dirgha Shruta Dhritashaya. Dirgha Shruta. They had heard for a long time. Just hearing once or twice, it will not happen. Keep on hearing it. Even if it's boring, even if it is repetitive, keep on listening it. Keep on hearing. सुनते सुनते ही होगा वो. येवा नाही बुझे के हा शुनिते शुनिते से हा की अद्भुत चैतन्य चरित कृष्ण उपजी बे प्रीति जानी बे रसेर रीति शुनिले बड़ा होए हित. Kaviraj Goswami says, even if you are not understanding anything, please still listen. नहीं बुझे के हा. बुझे means कुछ समझ नहीं रहा है. Still keep on listening. Please hear the pastimes of Krishna. Now Janmashtami is coming. All of us should have some plans. Okay, I'll hear something about Krishna. Some stories of Krishna book I'll read. Or 10th canto of Bhagavatam I'll read something. At least all translations I'll read. Something. You know, all these festivals, they are there to increase our attraction for Krishna. So all the friends and relatives and husbands and sons, they were stopping them. They didn't listen. They went and gave everything to Krishna. So that is how the more we hear, the more we get attracted. Shanu. So this first verse, to understand this first verse, there is a flow in this first verse. Very, very wonderful flow. It begins with the last word. What is the last word? Shino. The more you hear, you know what will happen by hearing? Gyasyasi. Yatha Gyasyasi. You will know him. You will know him properly. As Prabhupada writes, you will know him completely. Samagram mam Gyasyasi. Can somebody know Krishna completely? Nobody can know Krishna completely. But what is described here is, you will know Krishna as per your capacity. Just like the birds, they fly in the sky as per their capacity. Similarly, we will also understand Krishna as per our devotion. Gyasyasi samagram. And we should always try to speak about Krishna as per our capacity. We should never be shy in speaking about Krishna. You should always find somebody on whom you can download the lectures. हम ही क्यों सुने खाली, हम भी सुनाएंगे. Try to speak something about Krishna to someone. We should not feel मुझे क्या आता है, मैं तो कुछ नहीं बोल पाऊंगा. I will not be able to speak anything. You can speak a lot. Only thing required is a chance. Give yourself a chance. Don't think नहीं मैं क्या बोलूँगा, मैं क्या बोलूँगी. मुझे तो मैंने आज तक एक भी लेक्चर नहीं दिया किसी को. मैं लेक्चर सुनता ही रहता हूँ खाली. स्कूल में सर का लेक्चर सुनते थे. अभी यहाँ पे प्रभु जी लेक्चर दे के जाते हैं, वही सुनते हैं हम लोग. आपको डाउट है तो प्रभु जी को पूछ लीजिए. प्रभु जी को बिना कुछ टॉपिक दिए भी अभी एक बोलेंगे तो फिर भी लेक्चर हो जाएगा उस पर. प्रभु जी को एक पॉइंट, एक जीरो पे भी टॉपिक बोलेंगे तो जीरो पे भी 1 घंटा टॉपिक क्लास दे देंगे वो. So please understand. देखो मैं बोला ना.
आप पूछो किसी को मालूम है क्या?
मालूम है.
नहीं मालूम, आप पूछो किसी को.
देखो मेरी इज्जत का सवाल है.
आप पूछो किसी को डिफरेंस मालूम है क्या?
ब्रह्मवाद और मायावाद में अंतर मालूम है ना? शून्यवाद तो मायावाद वो तो मालूम ही है ना?
नहीं, वो भी नहीं मालूम.
मालूम है ना?
Everything is zero after death.
शून्यवाद नहीं मालूम होगा. मैंने 1-2 बार ही बोला है ना, इसलिए नहीं मालूम.
Buddhism.
शून्यवाद is Buddhism.
Zero after death.
Buddhism means after death everything is vanished. It is a complete void. Shunya. Everything ends with zero. That is called as Shunyavad. And Mayavad is everything is one. And Dvaitavad is everything is two. 0, 1, 2. नहीं नहीं, बस इतना भी मैं ही कंफ्यूज हो जाऊंगा क्या. So we have to try. We should try to speak. All of you should take some vow of speaking something or something about Krishna to someone, whoever you may be. ऐसा नहीं कि बच्चे मैं क्या बोलूँगा. Even Gianna can also speak, right? और मुदित भी लेक्चर दे सकता है. We should try to speak something about Krishna to someone. For sure we can do. That's how we develop. We should not be hesitating and shy about speaking, stories of Krishna or about philosophy of Krishna. गाना गाने में किसी को शर्म आती है. Bollywood songs, people they are shamelessly singing all the songs of the Bollywood. Why we should be shy? According to our capacity, we should speak. तथापि कीर्तयाम्यंग यथामति यथाश्रुतम् कीर्तिर्हरेर स्वाम सत्कर्तुम गिरम अन्याभिधासतिम. Maitreya Muni says, although Krishna's glories are unlimited, nobody can count the glories of Krishna. Even if somebody can count the dust particles on the entire earth, can somebody count?
No.
Even if somebody can count the rays of the sun, can somebody count? Even if somebody can count the snowflakes on the Arctic regions, can somebody count? Even if somebody can count all this, still you will not be able to count the glories of Krishna. So somebody will say, फायदा क्या है फिर बोल के कृष्ण के बारे में. Still you should speak about Krishna. Tathapi means still, even though. Kirtayami, I will do kirtan. Kirtan are of 4 types. Naam kirtan, Roop kirtan, Guna kirtan, Leela kirtan. At the end of our class, what we do? Naam kirtan. Now what are we doing? We are doing Guna kirtan and Leela kirtan and Rupa kirtan all. Sometimes we hear the beautiful form of Krishna. Sometimes we hear the qualities of Krishna. Sometimes we hear the pastimes of Krishna. Tathapi kirtayami. Still, although I can't describe, it is said that even Krishna can't understand how many qualities he has. He is also confused. Kitna hai mere paas? It is like a billionaire. If you ask a billionaire or multi-billionaire, what is your net worth? The moment he speaks something, his net worth has already increased. So he also doesn't know uske paas kitna hai. That's how Krishna is. Seho raho sarvagya shiromani Sri Krishna. Sarvagya shiromani Sri Krishna. Shiromani means crest jewel. Sarvagya shiromani. He is the best of the knowers. He also doesn't understand how much quality he has. So therefore, nobody can understand. Please try to speak as per your capacity. Tathapi kirtayami. He uses 2 words. Yatha mati, yatha shrutam. Mati means according to my intelligence. Yatha shrutam, according to what I have heard. I will speak according to my intelligence and as per I have heard. Because if I don't speak, what will happen? My tongue will become unchaste. So that is very essential. So therefore we have to speak about Krishna. Although we can't know Krishna, so when we hear Gyasyasi Samagram, and then if we know Krishna properly, then what happens? The next word is, please go back in the verse. Shrinu, उसके पहले ज्ञास्यसि समग्रम, उसके पहले क्या आ रहा है? Asanshayam. Without a doubt, I will know. Okay, a question to all of you. What all things people doubt? What are the doubts people have in the path of spirituality? आप लोगों ने सुना रहेगा या फिर आपके मन में भी रहेगा. What are the doubts? General doubts.
Does God exist?
भगवान है क्या? That's the doubt. हाँ? Real है कि नहीं है? और
अच्छे लोगों के साथ बुरा क्यों?
why do bad things happen to good people? और is he listening to our prayers?
नहीं, और
अभी डाउट सॉल्व हो गया क्या आपका?
नहीं, और है तो दिखता क्यों नहीं?
है तो दिखते क्यों नहीं है? कब दिखेंगे? बड़े बड़े डाउट्स हैं यहाँ पे लोगों में, कब दिखेंगे?
मेरे ही साथ ऐसे
मेरे ही साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? और क्या डाउट है? Why does he test so much? बस टेस्ट के बिना हम पढ़ते नहीं है ना. ओके, अभी सॉल्व. ओके, और क्वेश्चंस और डाउट्स क्या कहते हैं? हाँ जी. Am I closer to Krishna now? Okay. What else? What are the other doubts people have? Am I chanting properly? ठीक है, तो spiritual doubts हैं. Why so many gods? Yes. After coming to Krishna consciousness, slowly knowing about Krishna, all these doubts should dissolve. Asanshayam. It has to happen. If still you are thinking पता नहीं भगवान है कि नहीं. जैसे उस टाइम मैंने पूछा ना, अभी वो प्रभुपाद का स्टोरी बोला था ना, प्रभु जी आए नहीं अभी, आते रोहित प्रभु नहीं आए लग रहा है. You know, somebody asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what if at the end of life you realize there is no Krishna? What will you do? तो प्रभु जी ने बोला, हम आपका गला पकड़ेंगे फिर. आपने फंसाया हमको, पूरा जीवन हमको. So if our doubts are not getting solved, still we are having the doubts. Of course, different doubts may come. You know, in spirituality also we get some doubts, just like, you know, as Prabhuji was saying. क्या था अभी आपने लास्ट में कुछ तो बोला ना? Why my anarthas are increasing? Or when will I see Krishna? Will I see Krishna? Am I on the right path? All these are the doubts which come after the practice of spirituality. They are the good doubts. But all the basic fundamental doubts should get resolved for sure. Asanshayam. Without the doubt. Achha, which is more deadly, desire or doubt? Material desire or doubts?
संशयात्मा
How many of
विनश्यति.
you think desires are more dangerous? And doubts are more dangerous? बाकियों को क्या लग रहा है फिर?
दोनों में डाउट
हो रहा है. इन लोगों को कुछ डाउट नहीं है. You know, the desires will surely go in due course of time. But if somebody is not very, you know, focused and attentive, the doubts may remain always. As it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, श्रद्धावान जन होए भक्ति अधिकारी उत्तम मध्यम कनिष्ठ श्रद्धा अनुसारी. According to the faith a person has, a person is classified as uttam bhakta, a best devotee, madhyam, intermediate, or a new devotee or a neophyte. So the more we advance in this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, the more we chant, the more we pray, two things happen for sure. Vasudeva, we'll recite this verse, please repeat. Vasudeve Bhagavati
Vasudeva Bhakti
Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha
Bhakti Yoga Prayojita
Janayati Ashu Vairagyam
Janayatyasu Prayanagyam
Jnanam Chayat Ahetukam.
Jnanam Chayat Ahetukam.
Vasudeve Bhagavati, when we practice devotional service unto Krishna, Vasudeva, two things happen for sure, Jnana and Vairagya. One naturally develops knowledge about Krishna and naturally one develops detachment from this world. And the more one develops knowledge, the more the doubts decrease. It will happen for sure, you know. Otherwise, with your intelligence, when desires come, we can reject those desires by our intelligence. And this is not good desire for my spiritual life. I will not engage it. To the extent our intelligence is strong, we can say no to our desires. But if the doubts are there, our intelligence also doesn't function. That's why Krishna says, we have discussed this in 4th chapter.
4.40
अरे वाह,
संशयात्मा
क्या बात
विनश्यति.
निकालिए 4.40. नेक्स्ट क्लास में आपको यहाँ पे बिठाऊंगा.
मैंने निकाल के रखा था.
अच्छा, निकाल के रखा था, पहले ही उन्होंने निकाल के रख लिया. हाँ, अज्ञश्च, विल रिसाइट दिस. अज्ञश्च श्रद्धानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति. नायं लोको अस्ति न परो न सुखम संशयात्मनः. Three types of people are described: Agya, Ashraddhadana, and Sanshayatma. Ignorant, faithless, and doubtful. Amongst these three, doubtful souls are really dangerous. They have doubts in everything. मुझे यहाँ पे बुद्धू तो नहीं बना रहे हैं, गड़बड़ तो नहीं हो जाएगा. I should not get too much into this process. ये chairs है ना उधर? There are chairs. यहाँ पे एक और लाइन लगा दीजिए ना. नहीं, you can put one more line of chairs.
टूटा हुआ है पीछे वो.
नहीं, बहुत है लोहे.
हाँ, बहुत सारी chairs हैं.
मुझे 20 चेयर और है.
So that is how we have to understand. Asanshayam. We should not have doubts about this process of Krishna consciousness. If you have doubts, please ask. Don't keep your doubts thinking that ठीक है, समय आने पे पता चलेगा. Better to ask. Because when we ask, it is a welfare activity. Even if we feel लोग क्या कहेंगे, इतना भी नहीं मालूम. हमको मालूम नहीं है कि किसी को भी नहीं मालूम है. So we should not feel कि अरे लोग क्या बोलेंगे. It is better to ask. Even if you know the answers, still you should ask. आपको क्या लगता है, अनुज प्रो इतना क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, हमको आंसर नहीं मालूम है क्या? He knows the answers. But लोकमंगलम, for the welfare of people in general. यत्कृता कृष्ण संप्रश्नो येनात्मा सुप्रसिद्धति. Shukdev Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj, all your questions are for the welfare of people in general. So that's how it is. We should ask questions. We should not have doubts. And when the doubts are destroyed, what is the next word? पीछे जाना है. We have to go backwards. Shrinu, when we hear, then what happens? Yatha gyasyasi samagram. We know completely. Then we know completely. Asanshayam. All the doubts are resolved. And then what we do? Mad ashraya. We are not here to become the gatherers of information. We are not here to become storage devices. आज बहुत सारा information store कर लिया हमने. Our purpose is ashray. We have to take shelter of Krishna. The more we understand about Krishna, the more we are free of the doubts. The net result should be, I want to take shelter of Krishna. Because he is the only one who is worth giving shelter. He is the eternal well-wisher of everyone. Where we have read this? He is the supreme, dearmost well-wisher of everyone.
अनन्या चिंतयत मायेची न.
5th chapter. चलो last verse निकालिए. 5.29. Krishna is telling, he is the ever well-wisher of every living entity.
भोक्तारम यज्ञ तपसा.
भोक्तारम यज्ञ तपसाम.
भोक्तारम यज्ञ तपसा.
सर्वलोकामहेश्वरम. सूरिदम सर्वभूतानां. ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति. He is a Surida. He is a dearmost well-wisher. There are 3 types of friends: Bandhu, Mitra, and Surid. Bandhu means official friend. You may be having many friends in your office, colleagues, who you are working with. You don't share your family problems with them, right? They are official friend, Mitra. Bandhu means family friend, your relatives. They are a little more closer. But there are only few who are Surida. They will never judge us. They will be there with us always. Anytime you are in need, they are there. You can trust on them, you can bank on them. That is Surida. If we have hundreds of Mitra, we have only 10 or 20 Bandhu and 1 or 2 Surid. And Krishna says, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the dearmost well-wisher of everyone. That is Krishna. So why will not take shelter of Krishna? If somebody is dearmost well-wisher, he is the most powerful and he is my dear friend. So what a wonderful combination, right? He says, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. I am the controller of all the worlds. And he says, I am your dear friend also. इससे बढ़कर combination क्या होगा बताइए? You know, we don't understand this. If somebody says, if tomorrow, you know, this Mukesh Ambani comes and says, I want to become your friend.
नकली लोग फेसबुक पे डालते हैं.
तो सुन के अच्छा लग रहा है नहीं? डाउट आ रहा है ना? ऐसा हो कैसे सकता है? अंबानी को क्या जरूरत है हमसे फ्रेंडशिप करने का, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, राइट? So that's the problem we have, because we have not seen any person in this world who is like this, who is Sarva Loka Maheshwara, and he is saying, Suridam, I am your dearmost friend, well-wisher. So why not develop relation with such a person who is all powerful and who is Suridam also? But we think, नहीं, भगवान कहाँ करेंगे कुछ, भगवान तो बांसुरी बजा रहे हैं उधर खड़े होके, और मेरी पिटाई हो रही है यहाँ पे. दुनिया बनाने वाले, मैं तो गाना ही गा रहा हूँ इधर, क्या चल रहा है ये? Because we have not developed relation with him yet. समग्रम माम नहीं हुआ अभी तक. The more we know about Krishna, the more we will fall in love with Krishna. It has to happen. ऐसा नहीं है कि maybe it will happen. It will happen. But why it is not happening? We are not hearing properly or sufficiently from right person. So sufficient hearing is must. You know, in the beginning of first canto of Bhagavatam, there's a wonderful description which comes. Vyasdev, at the beginning of Kali Yuga, he thought all the people of Kali Yuga, they are so expert, you know. They are full of wonderful qualities. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya upatrita. इतने सारे गुण है ना कलयुग के लोगों में कि क्या बताएं. So for the welfare of people in general, what he did, he wrote down the Vedas. ऐसा नहीं है कि previously Vedas were not there, but previously people would only hear and memorize everything. They were called as Shrutidhar. एक बार सुन लिया तो याद हो गया. क्या ऋषिकेश? यही सही है ना? अरे ये देख इधर ही है. भी देखा. So previously all the people were like that only, Shrutidhar. So Vyasdev thought, अरे बेचारे कलयुग के लोग, भौतिकानां च भावानां शक्तिरासं च तत्कृतं अश्रद्धानां निस्सत्त्वान् दुर्मेधान् रशितायुष दुर्भगांश जनान् वीक्ष्य मुनि दिव्येन चक्षुषा सर्ववर्णाश्रमाणां यद्यद्य हितवमोदृक्. Vyasdev, he saw Bhautikānām ca bhāvānām. He saw all the people of this world. Shakti rasam, no strength. Ashraddhadhanan, faithless. Nisattvan, no longevity of life. Durmedhan, less intelligence. Durbhagan, unfortunate. So seeing all this condition of people of Kali Yuga for their welfare, what he did, he wrote down everything. How many of you have written any essays anytime in your school or colleges? Essay. लिखे ना. एक ऐसे लिखने के बाद लगता है ना, वाह यार बेटा अच्छा लिखा है. टीचर थैंक यू बोलेगा, वाह वाह बोलेगा कि नहीं, हम खुद को ही बोलते हैं वाह. And most of the times it is copy paste. आजकल तो यही आ गया है. Vyasdev, he wrote all original verses. No copy paste from anywhere. No AI generated. All the Vedas, 4 Ved, 108 Upanishads, 18 Puran, then Upanishads के बाद there are some corollaries, Itihas, so many things he wrote. And just imagine, इतना सब लिखने के बाद आपके टीचर आके क्या बोलेंगे आपको?
मजा नहीं है.
क्या बढ़िया आपने लिखा, वाह. You know what? Who is the teacher of Vyasdev? Who is the guru of Vyasdev?
Narad Muni.
So Narad Muni, he comes. And even before that, after writing all this, you know what was the mentality and condition of Vyasdev? He was thinking, why I am not satisfied? I am not satisfied even after writing all this. If the writer of Vedas is not satisfied, how the reader of the Vedas will be satisfied? Vyasdev is saying, I am not satisfied. Then he is thinking, why I am not satisfied? Then he comes to this conclusion. Kimva bhagavata dharma na prayena nirupita tatha paramahamsanam taeva hi yachyuta priya. Is it that I have not explained Bhagavat dharma properly? What is Bhagavat dharma?
Glories of Krishna.
That is devotional service, bhakti yoga. Is it that I have not explained Bhagavad Dharma properly? I think that's why I am not satisfied. He is thinking like this. And then Narad Muni comes. And Narad Muni says, Oh Vyasdev, how are you? Are you satisfied by writing all these Vedas? He is making sarcastic comments. Khush ho gaye likh ke. And Vyasdev says, Oh my Gurudev, you have diagnosed my problems very perfectly. I am not satisfied. Can you please tell me why? And then what Narad Muni says, it is a very strong statement. He says, Bhavatanudisa prayam yasho bhagavato amalam yenai vasona tushyeta mannetad darshanam khilam. O Vyasdev, Bhavata, you, anudita, you have not explained the glories of Krishna sufficiently. And anything which is not describing glories of Krishna, it is condemned. So whatever Ved, Puran, Upanishad, Vyasdev has written, Narad Muni क्या बोल रहे हैं? All of that is useless. So कैसा लगेगा अगर आपके सामने आप एक पैराग्राफ लिख के दिखाएंगे अपने टीचर को, बोले वेस्ट है, फेंक दो. Of course, that does not mean the Vedas and Puranas and Upanishads are useless. The point is, he has not glorified Krishna sufficiently. That's the main important thing. So that's how we have to understand. Unless we take shelter of Krishna, satisfaction doesn't come. Ashraya. Okay, what is the word before that? Ashraya ke pehle? So we are going backwards. When we hear,
Yogam.
then we know samagram gyasyasi, we know perfectly. When we know perfectly, all the doubts are resolved. When the doubts are resolved, then we take shelter of Krishna. And when we take shelter of Krishna, उसके बाद क्या करना है? उसके बाद क्या भी हो गया ना, अभी वो भगवान को करना है अभी. उसके बाद क्या करना है? योगम युंजन. That means start serving Krishna. Surrender means it is the beginning of seva. खाली हरि बोल बोल के चद्दर ओढ़ के सो जाएंगे तो नहीं होएगा. We have to start serving Krishna. Unless we serve Krishna, we will not experience transformation. It is not just by hearing about Krishna. It is not by memorizing the verses of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. It is by practical devotional service to the Lord and to the devotees of the Lord. And that service sometimes is not so pleasing to us. कभी कभी लगता है क्यों इतना सेवा कर रहा हूं मैं. But that seva purifies the heart if it is done in right consciousness. तोमार सेवाया दुखा है जाता सेयो तो परमा सुखा. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes this. Oh my Lord, whatever pains I am going through in your service, they are my greatest sources of bliss. So sometimes service, it is not so very palatable. But unless we serve devotees, unless we serve Krishna, which is easier, to become servant of Krishna or to become servant of the devotees of Krishna?
Servant of Krishna.
How many of you feel servant of Krishna is difficult? How many of you feel servant of devotees of Krishna is more difficult? तो तुमको क्या लगता है? अच्छा होता है. Okay, those who have said being servant of devotees of Krishna is difficult. Why?
Feedback मिलता है.
Feedback मिलता है. Because Krishna will never give you feedback unless you are a very advanced soul. Krishna तो बांसुरी बजाते रहेंगे आपके सामने. It is not easy because it is not easy for the ego to handle that feedback. आपको मिला नहीं है अभी तक लग रहा है. Those who have served, they understand this. Because when you serve, you put your heart and you put your intelligence. And you know, this is the right way. I know this is the only way in which seva should be done. And somebody comes and says, this is the bogus way of doing seva. तो कैसा लगेगा आपको? That is called as ego crush. And Krishna is expert in that. And the devotees are more expert. So that's why to serve with devotees is not so easy. But unless you serve with devotees, purification will not happen. Just by hearing Bhagavad Gita, purification will not happen. Purification will happen when we start serving devotees of Krishna. That's why Krishna again and again is saying, oh, my devotee is not my devotee. Devotee of my devotee is my devotee. That's why all the big devotees, what are they asking when Krishna comes in front of them? Please give us association of your devotees. और हम बोलेंगे ये कोई मांगने की चीज है. Association से क्या होने वाला है? Because in association only our ego will be purified. In association we'll get to understand Krishna more. It is not that because I am speaking all of you are understanding Krishna so much. It is because everybody around you is sitting with an equal intention of understanding Krishna. It is not just one person's effort. It is everyone's effort which comes together and transforms us. So that's how powerful it is. Yogam Yunjan. Okay, again, when we hear, then we'll know about Krishna. When we know about Krishna, all the doubts are resolved. When the doubts are resolved, we take shelter of Krishna. And when we take shelter of Krishna, we serve Krishna. And by serving Krishna, what will happen? The last word? Maya Sakta Manaha. Then our mind will be attached to Krishna. That is the whole sequence. It begins with hearing. That is our purpose, right? इतना सब क्यों मेहनत कर रहे हैं हम लोग? Our mind should be attached to Krishna, right? That's the goal. मेरा मन कृष्ण में लग जाए, उसके लिए तो तपस्या चल रहा है. This is the goal. But this will not happen unless it starts from Shrinu. Shrinu पे खत्म हो गया तो next will not happen. So all these 6 limbs should come in our life. One of is missing, will not go ahead. उधर ही अटक जाएंगे. And many times we are stuck at one place. या तो योगम युंजन नहीं कर रहे हैं, या तो मय्यासक्त नहीं हो रहा है. मय्यासक्त क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? योगम युंजन नहीं, या फिर आश्रय नहीं. So we have to understand where are we stuck. Why I am not increasing, going to the next level. Analyze, introspect. Then slowly we will understand. Then our attachments will go. It is said that one time Chaitanya Prabhu, he says that our attachments, they are like a rented house. And we are staying in that rented house. But unfortunately, nobody knows when we'll be kicked out of this rented house. Our attachments will not stay or we will not stay. Okay, now a question to all of you. You don't have to answer. All of you, please introspect. What are our thoughts when we have nothing to do? When we are sitting idle? क्या सोचते हैं हम लोग? खाने के बारे में सोचते हैं. सात्विक विचार हैं ये. खाने के बारे में सोचते हैं, वो भी सात्विक है. You know, our attachments, they are our mental home. And we should always introspect. What are my thoughts when there is nothing to do? Because home means when we are sheltered. कुछ नहीं है करने के लिए तो घर पे जाते हैं ना हम लोग. तो कुछ नहीं है सोचने के लिए तो क्या सोचते हैं? That's our shelter. So we have to transform our shelter. Now our shelter is in the things of this world or people of this world. We have to transform our shelter to Krishna. Nothing else to do. I am thinking of Krishna. That is called as Maya Sakta Manaha. You know, one time, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, whenever he stays in the temple, he's there. He is, whatever time he sleeps, you know, even if he comes late from program, he's there for Mangalarti. And Mangalarti means 5 o'clock in the morning. So one day, you know, Maharaj, his lights are not on even in Mangalarti. And then it is 6 o'clock, then 7 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock. Still the lights are not getting on. And the devotee was serving Maharaj, he was getting little anxious. Kya ho gaya Maharaj, khul nahi rahe darwaja, what's happening, is he sick? So at 8:30 Maharaj opened the door. And this devotee, he went inside and he said, Maharaj, and actually Maharaj, he came and asked, you didn't give me breakfast? Because it was 8:30. So this devotee said, Maharaj, your lights were off, so I thought that you are taking rest. He said, I was chanting. And that's what I do many times when my lights are off. You know. So that is a devotee. Always thinking of Krishna. So Mai Asakta Manaha. So that is what we have to reach up to. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue next time. Prabhupada writes a very beautiful big purport in this verse. Any questions anybody has? Or comments? Yes, Prabhuji. Mike, please.
Prabhuji, actually, when you said that we should be increasing our asakti towards Krishna, so basically the asakti will increase only when there is intelligence of knowledge. The more we hear and we have knowledge about Krishna, only then we'll get attached to that source of knowledge, and that is Krishna. But as it is said mostly in this Bharatvarsha, that knowledge means Vedanta. So many people are like very connected to Vedanta, where there are some concepts which actually in our day-to-day life also we see that whenever there is a dead person, we actually go around and break that pot and the water flows. So it is like, actually the Creator has created us from nothingness, that is mud. And that mud has been made by the copper into a, handi, and that handi is broken. So basically then we are out into the mud again. So the Creator again has to come and make that mud again. This is the first concept which is in many people's mind. The second concept is that many people are coming from one Brahma, and that Brahma has become, deferred, and all those Brahma ka particles are there in everybody's body. And because that avaran is of intelligence, the avaran is of unintelligence, that is Maya में फंस गया है वो शरीर, अंदर जो ब्रह्म है वो एक्चुअली नॉलेजेबल है. वो जो ओरिजिनल ब्रह्म है उसके खंड में हम छोटे छोटे ब्रह्म बन के यहाँ पर आए हैं, और वो जब हम नश्वर शरीर को छोड़ेंगे तब वो ब्रह्म में जाके लीन हो जाएंगे. ये दूसरा कंसेप्ट सबके दिमाग में भरा रहता है. तीसरा कंसेप्ट इज़ अबाउट दैट रोप एंड स्नेक, कि भाई हम जो यहाँ पर अटके हैं वो इसलिए अटके हैं कि हम वो रियल स्नेक को यानी रोप को स्नेक पकड़ के यहाँ पर है. तो दैट इज़ नैतिवाद और वट एवर दैट होल थिंग ऑफ अनदर 20 minutes ऑन दैट. सो ये लोगों को छोटा छोटा नॉलेज है, पर उनको लगता है बहुत नॉलेजेबल है, और उनको लगता है कि ये जो वेदांता का नॉलेज है, दिस इज़ द हाईएस्ट नॉलेज. सो अनलेस दे गेट कनेक्टेड टू रियल नॉलेज, हाउ विल दे गेट कनेक्टेड टू कृष्णा? सो इफ you were to tell about knowledge, what is the difference between Vedanta? Because Vedanta starts with Janmadhyasya Yatah, so that starts with Bhagavatam. But what exactly is Vedanta? And as Krishna says in 15.15, Vedanta Krit Veda Vichevachaham. So when we talk of Vedanta, and many people think Vedanta is the highest, how to discriminate between real knowledge and Vedanta?
Thank you. हमको समझ गया कि आपको समझ गया है. See, for most of the Indians, all this knowledge of Vedanta and Mayavad doesn't make sense. They don't understand any of it.
But they think it is very intelligent.
Most of the things which we hear, what is called as Mayavad, that is just the surface of most of the Indians. You scratch the little bit of the surface, you will find a person there. That is there in most of the Indians' consciousness. This Vedanta and Mayavad, whatever you are describing, it is very strongly rooted in some top intellectuals of spiritual life. And because they have the influence, they are controlling the country. At our level, what we should do, rather than understanding what they are doing, first of all, understand what is our philosophy. What we have, that we have to understand first. Then we will be able to understand what others are giving us. That is first thing. Read first Bhagavad Gita given by Prabhupada. That is a personal understanding of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, this impersonal understanding, it is very common nowadays. सब एक है, सब ब्रह्मन है, हम भी भगवान बन जाएंगे. All these are very common understandings, and most of the people, they have no very strong attachment to this. They have only one thing: मजा करने के लिए कैसा मिलेगा? How will I enjoy more? Okay, by following your philosophy, I'll enjoy more. I'll follow your philosophy. If I'll follow your philosophy, okay, then I'll follow your, if I'm able to enjoy more. So at our level, what we have to be very clear is, we are individual souls. Supreme Lord is also an individual entity. We are supposed to serve the Supreme Lord. These are the three simple things which we have to understand. That is called as knowledge. The definition of knowledge means to know matter, spirit, and controller of both. Wow, कहाँ पे पढ़ा? अच्छा, मैंने So simple understanding of knowledge. Thank you for remembering. Simple understanding, इतना समझ लीजिए. What is this world all about? Who is God? And what is my identity? बस ये तीन समझ लीजिए. Then प्रभु जी ने जो भी बोला नहीं समझा, कोई बात नहीं. Because for most of us, all these technical stuff, they don't make much sense. मतलब समझता ही नहीं है क्या है ये technical understanding. But we should have this one thing very clear. We should never hear anybody speaking Mayavad. Mayavad bhashya shunile hoye sarvanash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that. It is not easy to defeat Mayavadis. हम लोगों को ज़्यादा कुछ मायावादी से पल्ले नहीं पड़े, इसलिए हम लोग मायावादी इसको बहुत सारा कुछ बोलते हैं. To defeat Mayavad, it is not so easy. Even Mahaprabhu, he debated with Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya for 7 days. भगवान को 7 दिन लग रहे हैं, तो हमको क्या है? So better stay away.
But then Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, सुना था कि
he got transformed. He became devotee. Yeah. Mahaprabhu transformed him. Mahaprabhu transformed Prakashananda Saraswati also, who had 60,000 disciples, sannyasi, mayavadis. So Lord can do that. But हमारे लिए it is very difficult to even understand Bhagavad Gita में क्या लिखा है. तो मायावाद तो अलग चीज है. We should know what is our philosophy. One time Srila Prabhupada was in a flight and he told his assistant that okay, we have 2 hours, so let's do something. You become atheist and I'll become a devotee and we'll debate. Okay, you give your arguments how God is not there and I will refute. So within 5 minutes, Prabhupada refuted all these arguments. And then Prabhupada said, okay, now I'll become an atheist, you become a devotee. So he thought, अब तो मेरे को सब मालूम है क्या बोलना है. And to his surprise, Prabhupada defeated him still. So Prabhupada said that's how you should know your philosophy and others' philosophy. So that's how at our level पहले अपना तो जानिए, दूसरों का बाद में next step है वो. So that's how it is. Any other questions?
Prabhuji, can you elaborate a little bit of what is Vedanta? I mean,
Ved Anta, simple na? The end of all Veda. What is that? That is Vedanta. And that verse you quoted. Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo. The conclusion of all the Vedanta is Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. इससे सिंपल डेफिनेशन आपको नहीं मिलेगा वेदांत का. वेदांत, टेक्निकली स्पीकिंग, it is the essence of all the Vedas. And it has sutra called as aphorisms. एक एक लाइन में बहुत से ऐसे संस्कृत सूत्र लिखे हुए हैं, which is very difficult to understand for ordinary people. Vyasadev, he has written a natural commentary on Vedanta. And what is that? That is Srimad Bhagavatam. If you can understand Bhagavatam, you understand Vedanta. Okay, that is the simple understanding. Yes, Broji.
Like he said to discuss now that even
You can just take the mic.
we discussed now that even like what you think in your free time, that is important. So in your free time, how do you better remember Krishna? For like we can of course read Bhagavatam or do chanting, but chanting also we do more effectively when we have the beads, or even when you are chanting on the beads at times, though you are pronouncing the words of Hare Krishna, but still at some point of time your mind goes into some other background thoughts, and then you realize
Sometimes we hear. Most of the times.
yeah. So for as a solution to this, I have seen many devotees also write the Harinam, the entire thing on the mantra on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and then they try to concentrate on that. So when you don't have access to any of these things, what is the best way of, like you don't have the beads, you don't have Bhagavatam, what is the best way?
Now, Arjun, he was a pure devotee of the Lord, right? He was not chanting his 16 rounds every day. Battlefield में Arjun didn't tell Krishna, जरा पेड़ के पीछे रथ लगाओ, 2 माला बची. See, all these are the external things which a sadhaka needs. You know, the more one advances in spiritual life, the external support is not required. So we should try to understand our level and mold our life in such a way that we have one thing or other which will help us in meditation, in remembering Krishna. All of us should do one thing. All of us should introspect, what are you attracted in this path of Krishna consciousness? What attracts you? Kirtan attracts you. Lectures attract you. Chanting attracts you. Prasad attracts you. Seva attracts you. Or kya hai?
Mostly the prasad.
So we have to find out what attracts me. Try to do that more. And slowly, if it is just like some people are attracted to kirtan more. And some people say, Prabhuji, chanting ठीक से नहीं होती, कीर्तन में मजा आता है. Okay, you have an inclination for hearing kirtan or music. Please hear, that is also the names of Krishna. Slowly you will also develop attraction for chanting Krishna's names. If hearing kirtan is not increasing our attachment for chanting, that means there is some problem. If doing deity worship is not increasing your attachment for chanting, there is some problem. If doing seva is not increasing your attachment for chanting, there is some problem. Because ultimately, we have to come to a level, a state where we can chant always. Because at one point of time we will not be able to serve properly. As the age progresses, कितना सेवा कर पाएंगे फिजिकल? एक समय आएगा ना जब बैठना पड़ेगा एक जगह. एक समय आएगा ना जब कुछ कीर्तन नहीं कर पाएंगे, ज्यादा सुनाई भी नहीं देगा, सेवा नहीं कर पाएंगे, डीटी वर्शिप विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू. उसके उस समय क्या करेंगे? उस समय केवल चैंटिंग ही रह जाएगा, हाथ में माला रह जाएगी. So we have to consciously pray to the Lord. Please give me taste for chanting, taste for the names. Conscious prayers. They are essential. They are must. And it happens over a period of time. इतना लेक्चर सुन लीजिए, नहीं होगा. Over a period of time, Krishna will reveal this depending on your intensity of practice. Then same thing which you have heard hundreds of times will make sense. Otherwise it will not make sense even if you hear 1,00,000 times. It is all given by Krishna according to our intensity, according to our prayers, according to our honest devotional service. वो भगवान देते हैं. Okay, so we have to pray. Intellectually we can understand Bhagavad Gita, but that intellectual understanding will not help us come close to Krishna if we are not investing our emotions and heart. These are two different things. Bhagavad Gita rat liya, philosophy samajh gaye, that is good. But that philosophy will not bring us closer to Krishna if we are not investing our emotions, if we are not prayerful, if we are not asking for that taste. Okay.
Prabhuji, just thought I had heard somewhere that the Lord's altar, when the devotees open, it is from within, it is not from without.
Correct.
So Krishna reveals.
Yeah, thank you. भगवान अंदर से ही दर्शन देते हैं. You can't barge into the kingdom of God, as they say. बहुजन्म करे यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तब उतना पाए कृष्ण पदे प्रेम धन. Even if you chant 64 rounds every day and thinking that एक हफ्ते में भगवान दर्शन देने चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होगा. कृष्णा takes his time. डाउट था.
आपने बोला कि द्वापर युग में लोग ऐसे थे कि एक बार सुन लिया पूरा रट्टा, लेकिन अब कलयुग में ऐसे कैसे हो गया कि मतलब 10 बार भी नहीं पढ़ा तो फिर भी रट्टा नहीं हुआ, तो फिर कैसे होता है?
बेचारे स्टूडेंट की व्यथा. Nangshati Ayu Bala Smriti. That is the default setting Krishna has put. Ayu Bala Smriti. ये तीनों कम हो जाएंगे with every age. Satyuga, people would live for 1 lakh years or many lakhs of years. Treta, thousands of years. Dwapar, hundreds of years. Kalyuga, 100 भी हो गया तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. आयु कम होती है, बल कम होता है. दुशासन had the strength of 10,000 elephants. अब इधर एक एलिफेंट आएगा तो 10,000 elephants. वो राणा प्रताप का चेतक था, वो it was so powerful. Rana Pratap's one sword was 50 kg and he would carry 2 swords. तो अभी देखो, अभी अपना तो वजन ही 50 किलो नहीं है. तो आयु कम होता है, बल कम होता है, स्मृति कम होती है, रिमेम्बरेंस कम होता है. दैट इज डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग. आपने गलती की, आप कलयुग में आ गए. हाँ जी.
Prabhu, you have a doubt in 12.17, where in the purport Prabhupada ji writes that verse, and then he writes that a devotee is transcendental in the face of all kinds of auspicious, inauspicious and sinful activities. I don't understand.
Auspicious, inauspicious and sinful activities.
What is the meaning of that?
A devotee is transcendental in auspicious, inauspicious and sinful activities. What is that verse? यो न रिष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न कांक्षति, यो न रिष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न कांक्षति, समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्. So basically, it is about the situation that devotee is in. Whether he is in an auspicious situation or inauspicious situation or a sinful situation, he is not affected by any of it. Even if he is surrounded by sinful people, his consciousness is not affected. Even if he is surrounded by people who are very auspicious, punyavan log hain, he is fixed in devotion only. So basically this whole series of verses describe the qualities of a steady devotee. The externals, they don't disturb this devotee. Shubha Ashubha Parityagi, na? What is the full verse? I spoke, I think, mistake. Shubha Ashubha Parityagi Bhaktiman Yassam Me Priya. Okay. So that's how this devotee is. He is completely unaffected by the externals. That is called as Sthita Pragya. Second chapter we heard that. So this is same description. You'll find this description again 14.21, 22, 23, 24. Where Krishna describes a person who is beyond the modes of nature. So that's how this devotee is completely unaffected. He is fixed in Krishna. So that is understanding. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय नमस्ते नरसे माया नमस्ते नरसे माया प्रहलाद हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः Yato yami tato narasimha Bhavir narasimha hridahi narasimha Narasimha madim sharanam prapati Avakara kamalavare rakha Adbhuta shringa Dalita hiranyakashipu Tanu vringa Keshavadita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Adbhuta Shringa Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Vringa Keshavadita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Narsimhadev 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 जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय सर्वविघ्न विनाशक लक्ष्मण सिंह देव भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So today we have with us a very wonderful devotee, Dr. Yogesh Mudolkar Prabhu. He is from JJ. He is a young orthopedician here. So he just came to Mumbai. He is doing his fellowship in orthoscopy. So I just thought of inviting. So we welcome Yogesh Prabhu. He is a very wonderful devotee. I know him since he was in UG days in JJ 2014. Very wonderfully practicing Krishna consciousness since so many years. So welcome Yogesh Prabhu in our traditional style by loudly chanting 3 times.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone who has come for the first time today? Else? Anyone else? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. What's your good name, Prabhu? आपका शुभ नाम? धीरेन मजीठिया प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्णा. आप कल्पतरू में रहते हैं? स्टेइंग. ओके, वंडरफुल. एंड आपका? अमृत पटेल प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्णा. आप कहाँ रहते हैं? कल्पतरू में रहते हैं. ओके, वंडरफुल. So we welcome Dhiren Prabhuji and Amrit Prabhu in our class. We pray to the Lordships to shower their blessings on these wonderful souls, that they keep coming and inspiring us. And we hope and pray that this marks a very auspicious beginning, spiritual beginning in their lives. We welcome these wonderful devotees also in our traditional style by very loudly chanting 3 times.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you. So next week we are going to Govardhan Eco Village. If anybody is still thinking, please come. This is the best time to go to Govardhan Eco Village. All the wonderful greeneries there. Rains are also not so much. So if anybody is still thinking, please think quickly. It will be a wonderful experience. महाप्रसादे गोविंदे,
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे,
नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे,
नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे,
स्वल्प पुण्यावतम राजन,
स्वल्प पुण्यावतम राजन,
विश्वासुनैव जायते,
विश्वासुनैव जायते,
शरीरा विद्याजा,
शरीरा विद्याजा,
जनेन्द्रियतहिका,
जनेन्द्रियतहिका,
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे,
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे,
तार मध्ये जीवाति,
तार मध्ये जीवाति,
लोभ माया सुदुर्मति,
माया सुबरमति,
ताके जेता कठिन संसारे,
ताके जेता कठिन संसारे,
कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय,
कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय,
परिवारे जीवाजा,
जीवाए जीवजा,
स्वप्रसाद अन्न दिलोभा,
स्वप्रसाद अनिलोभा,
सैयन्नामृत पाओ,
सैयन्नामृत पाओ,
राधा कृष्ण गुणगान,
राधा कृष्ण
विड़ा को श्री चैतन्य निताय,
तेरा को श्री चैतन्य नित्याय,
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य,
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य,
प्रभु नित्यानंद,
नित्यानंद,
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर, श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे,
कृष्ण हरे हरे,
हरे राम
हरे राम,
राम राम हरे हरे।
हरे हरे।
जय श्री भगवत महाप्रसाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू।